Gosh, you guys, I've never even been on a plane. This was not on my radar to come to California. It's just a dream come true.
Happy you came!
Richard Goodall's story is not just one of talent. It is a powerful narrative of resilience, perseverance, and the profound impact that music can have on a person's life. His voice, rich with emotion and warmth, has captured the hearts of audiences worldwide. Yet behind the awe-inspiring vocal prowess lies a deeper, often heartbreaking tale of struggle, rejection, and ultimately triumph. Richard's journey is one of an ordinary man overcoming extraordinary obstacles, proving that it's never too late to follow your dreams, regardless of age or the circumstances that may stand in your way. Early years, humble beginnings in Terre Haute, Indiana. Richard Goodall was born and raised in Terre Haute, Indiana, a small city nestled in the southwestern part of the state. Like many children growing up in a modest household, Richard's early years were marked by simplicity, love, and an unwavering sense of family. His parents, though not wealthy, provided him with everything they could to ensure he had a stable and nurturing upbringing. Music, however, was his true passion. From a very young age, Richard discovered the transformative power of sound. His childhood was filled with the melodies that floated from the radio, and his most treasured possession was his Radio Shack stereo, a small but cherished companion that allowed him to immerse himself in the world of music. Whether it was the country tunes of Garth Brooks, the timeless ballads of Frank Sinatra, or the soulful sounds of Elvis Presley, Richard found solace in the music that played through the speakers. While other kids played outside or focused on their studies, Richard spent countless hours in his room, belting out his favorite songs and imagining himself on a grand stage, his voice filling the air for all to hear. He dreamed of becoming a singer, of performing in front of large crowds, and of making a name for himself as an artist. But as with many young dreamers, reality often has other plans. The struggles of adulthood, a stable job, but unfulfilled dreams. As Richard grew older, the responsibilities of adulthood began to overshadow his musical aspirations. The world around him didn't make room for the kinds of dreams that didn't come with practical assurances. After high school, Richard faced a choice that many young people must confront: pursue a lofty dream or secure a stable future. College, though an option, was not on Richard's immediate horizon. He could not afford the costs, nor did he have the support he needed to attend. Instead, Richard opted for a job that, though steady, did not fuel his artistic desires: janitorial work. He secured a position at Chauncey Rose Middle School, just 3 blocks away from his childhood home. While the job provided the financial stability Richard needed, it came with its own set of challenges. Janitorial work was not glamorous. It required long hours, hard labor, and little recognition. Yet Richard took immense pride in his role, understanding the importance of cleanliness and order in the learning environment. He made sure that the school was well maintained, creating a safe space for students and faculty alike. For over 23 years, Richard cleaned classrooms, hallways, and bathrooms, never once complaining about the monotony of his job. While his work may not have been the stuff of childhood dreams, Richard's spirit remained strong. As he swept floors, wiped down surfaces, and emptied trash bins, he often sang. His powerful voice echoed through the empty hallways, creating a personal soundtrack to the otherwise mundane task. His impromptu performances didn't go unnoticed. Students passing by on their way to class often stopped to listen to the janitor who could sing. Teachers were similarly impressed, often joining in to appreciate the rare talent that Richard had hidden away for so many years. The rise of the singing janitor. Over time, Richard's musical talents became known to the entire school. He became affectionately known as the singing janitor. His vocal performances at school events, particularly at Veterans Day celebrations, became a cherished tradition. The highlight of these events was always Richard's rendition of "God Bless the USA" by Lee Greenwood. His deep, resonant voice seemed to carry the weight of the nation's history, filling the school auditorium with an emotional intensity that moved the audience to tears. It was clear to everyone who heard him that Richard had a gift that deserved to be shared with a much larger audience. Yet Richard never once expected fame or recognition. He sang simply because it brought him joy. Music was his outlet, his passion, and his form of self-expression. But fate had other plans. The viral moment, a life-changing performance. In 2022, during a particularly memorable school event, Richard's life took a dramatic turn. The teachers, recognizing Richard's incredible vocal abilities, encouraged him to sing a song that truly showcased his range. He chose Journey's iconic anthem, "Don't Stop Believin'." This was a song that had always resonated with him, one that spoke to the universal struggle of perseverance and hope. With a teaching assistant recording him, Richard performed the song with all his heart. The energy in the room was palpable as Richard's voice soared through the chorus, every note powerful and full of emotion. When the video was later posted on TikTok, no one could have predicted the impact it would have. Within hours, the video went viral, amassing over 100,000 views. By the end of the weekend, it had surpassed 1 million views, spreading like wildfire across social media platforms. Fans from around the world began to comment on the video, praising Richard's vocal prowess and the raw emotion he conveyed through his performance. Even the members of Journey, including the legendary Steve Perry, took notice and left encouraging comments. Richard's dream of being heard, of sharing his voice with the world, was finally coming true. The video had caught the attention of millions, and it was clear that Richard had something special, something that the world was ready to embrace. America's Got Talent, Richard's big break. Soon after the video went viral, the producers of America's Got Talent, AGT, reached out to Richard, inviting him to audition for the show. Richard could hardly believe it. This small-town janitor was being offered the chance to perform on one of the biggest stages in the world. After years of singing to an empty school building, Richard would now have the opportunity to sing in front of millions of viewers. The thought of performing on AGT brought both excitement and nervousness. He knew that this was a rare opportunity, one that could change his life forever. On May 27, 2023, Richard found himself standing before the AGT panel of judges, Simon Cowell, Heidi Klum, Sofia Vergara, and Howie Mandel. His heart raced as the spotlight shone on him. With a deep breath, Richard began his rendition of "Don't Stop Believin'," his voice filling the stage with an emotional power that took the audience by surprise. He sang with a raw, undeniable passion, and the judges were visibly moved. When Richard finished, the audience erupted into applause, giving him a standing ovation. Heidi Klum, particularly moved by Richard's talent and story, pressed the golden buzzer, sending Richard directly to the live shows. The golden confetti rained down around him, a symbol of the incredible journey that was just beginning. Richard, overwhelmed with emotion, expressed his gratitude, feeling as though he had stepped into a dream. For the first time in his life, Richard Goodall was no longer just the singing janitor. He was a star on the rise, and his future was full of endless possibilities. AGT's support, a community behind Richard. As Richard advanced through the competition, his story resonated with millions of viewers. He was no longer just a man with a beautiful voice, he was a symbol of hope and perseverance. Throughout the competition, Richard remained grounded, never losing sight of the humble roots that had shaped him. His team at AGT, composed of technical assistants, vocal coaches, and emotional support staff, ensured that he was well prepared for every performance. The support extended beyond the AGT team. The entire town of Terre Haute rallied behind Richard, showing their love and loyalty to their hometown hero. Watch parties were organized, and voting drives were held to ensure that Richard's talent was recognized by the world. The sense of community support fueled Richard's determination, and it became clear that his journey was not just his own. It was a journey shared by everyone who had ever believed in him. The emotional toll, rejection, and perseverance. Richard's rise to fame was not without its setbacks, however. Before his AGT audition, Richard had attempted to pursue a career in music by auditioning for The Voice, another major singing competition. He submitted a video of himself singing "Don't Stop Believin'," pouring his heart into the performance. He had hoped that this would be his big break, but the rejection he received from The Voice was devastating. The email informing him that he would not be moving on to the next round was a blow to his confidence. For a man who had spent his life believing in the power of music, the rejection felt like a personal failure. However, instead of letting this setback define him, Richard used the rejection as fuel for his determination. He took to social media to share his disappointment, but also his unwavering belief in his talent. He wrote to his supporters, expressing his hurt, but also his resolve to keep moving forward. Richard's post was not just about the rejection. It was a declaration of his commitment to pursue his dreams no matter how many doors were slammed in his face. This moment of vulnerability only endeared Richard to his fans even more. They rallied behind him, offering words of encouragement and support. And when America's Got Talent came calling, Richard was ready to prove that he had what it took to make his dreams a reality. Richard Goodall's legacy, a story of hope and resilience. Richard Goodall's journey from janitor to national sensation is more than just a story of fame and recognition. It is a testament to the power of dreams, resilience, and the enduring strength of the human spirit. Through his struggles and triumphs, Richard has become a symbol of hope for anyone who has ever faced obstacles in the pursuit of their passions. His story shows that no matter where you come from or how many setbacks you face, there is always a chance to rise again and pursue your dreams. Richard's journey is far from over. As his fame continues to grow, he remains deeply committed to his community and the people who believed in him from the start. He dreams of using his platform to inspire others to never give up, to follow their hearts, and to believe that no dream is too big to achieve. Through his story, Richard Goodall reminds us all that, with enough passion and determination, we too can turn our dreams into reality. The turning point, viral video and America's Got Talent. It was in 2022 that Richard's life would take an unexpected turn. During one of these school events, Richard chose to sing Journey's iconic anthem, Don't Stop Believin', a song that meant so much to him personally. A teaching assistant recorded the performance and, inspired by the response from the crowd, posted it on TikTok. The video quickly went viral, amassing over 100,000 views within hours. By the end of the weekend, it had exceeded 1 million views and was garnering comments from fans and even members of the band Journey, including legendary lead singer Steve Perry. Richard, a man who had spent decades singing to empty hallways, was suddenly thrust into the global spotlight. The video not only caught the attention of fans, but also caught the eye of producers from America's Got Talent, AGT. The next day, they reached out to Richard, inviting him to audition for the show. To Richard, it felt like a dream come true. A janitor from a small town in Indiana was about to step onto one of the biggest stages in the world. The invitation to AGT marked the beginning of a new chapter in Richard's life. He accepted the invitation with excitement, but also with a sense of disbelief. His journey to this point had been filled with countless years of hard work, dedication, and sacrifice, but now it felt as if the dream he had once thought unattainable was finally within his reach. America's Got Talent. A new chapter. On May 27, 2022, Richard Goodall found himself standing in front of a star-studded panel of judges on AGT, Simon Cowell, Sofia Vergara, Heidi Klum, and Howie Mandel. Richard was nervous but determined. His voice, which had once filled the empty hallways of a middle school, now had the chance to fill a stage that would be seen by millions of people around the world. As the music began and Richard began to sing Don't Stop Believin', it became clear that his talent was undeniable. The judges were moved by his performance. The audience, too, was swept up in the emotion of the moment. Richard's powerful voice filled the air, resonating with listeners in a way that few could ignore. As he reached the final notes of the song, the entire room erupted into applause. The judges gave him a standing ovation. Heidi Klum, visibly moved by Richard's raw talent and heartfelt performance, pressed the coveted golden buzzer. Confetti rained down on Richard as the crowd cheered, and for a moment he stood frozen in disbelief. The golden buzzer sent Richard directly to the live shows, a remarkable achievement that signified a turning point in his life. It was a moment of triumph, a culmination of years of dreaming, hoping, and persevering. The emotion was overwhelming for Richard, who had worked so hard for so long just to be noticed. Love and loss, a personal tragedy. While Richard's career was on the rise, his personal life had been marked by an incredible tragedy. Before meeting his fiancée, Angie, Richard had been married to a woman he loved deeply. They had spent over 30 years together, building a life filled with love, joy, and shared experiences. They celebrated holidays, milestones, and special moments, their bond a shining example of the strength of love. Their relationship was one of mutual support and unwavering commitment. However, in 2021, Richard's world was shattered when his wife was diagnosed with cancer. As her health deteriorated, Richard did everything he could to support her. He was by her side through every doctor's appointment, every round of chemotherapy, and every difficult moment. Yet, despite his best efforts, the cancer claimed her life on June 19, 2021. The grief was unbearable. Richard shared his heartache on social media, posting a heartfelt message in which he expressed his sorrow and guilt. "I'm so sorry I did my best, but my best wasn't good enough. Cancer is like getting punched in the gut, falling to the ground, then told to get back up and start all over." These words, raw and unfiltered, spoke volumes about the depth of his pain. The loss of his wife was a deep wound that would take time to heal. A new beginning, finding love. Again. Despite the profound grief, Richard's story is one of resilience. Just 2 months after his wife's passing, Richard met Angie, the woman who would eventually become his fiancée. While their relationship began under the shadow of his grief, Angie brought a new light into Richard's life. On August 25, 2021, Richard posted a picture with Angie, the caption reading, "Fun night with Mylene at Taco Tequila's." Though it was clear that Richard was still healing from the loss of his wife, it was also evident that Angie had brought joy and comfort back into his world. Though his heart still carried the scars of his first marriage, Richard was able to embrace this new chapter of his life. Angie became not only a source of love and support, but also a reminder that life can and will continue, even in the face of unimaginable pain. Richard's love for Angie grew, and so did his sense of hope for the future. From janitor to superstar. A new opportunity. In the wake of his AGT success, Richard's life began to change in ways he had never imagined. His journey from janitor to viral sensation was a testament to the power of dreams and the unexpected turns that life can take. However, the road to success was not without its challenges. Richard still faced obstacles, from financial struggles to the weight of his past losses. Yet through it all, Richard remained grounded and committed to his music and his community. Despite his newfound fame, Richard never forgot his roots. He continued to work at Chauncey Rose Middle School, not as a janitor, but as a living testament to the power of persistence and the ability to overcome adversity. Richard's story resonated with people everywhere, and his humble nature made him even more beloved by fans. The support of his community, Crowdfunding for AGT. Richard's journey to AGT was not only supported by his fiancée and close family, but also by his community in Terre Haute. When it was time for Richard to travel to California for AGT, he was faced with the financial burden of covering travel expenses, accommodations, and other related costs. Being a janitor with limited financial means, Richard was unsure how he would afford the trip. Enter Chris Burton, a fellow resident of Terre Haute, who launched a GoFundMe campaign to help cover Richard's expenses. The campaign was a resounding success, raising over $15,000 in just a few weeks. The outpouring of support from the community was overwhelming. It was clear that Richard's story had touched the hearts of many, and they wanted to ensure that he could focus on his performance without worrying about finances. This act of kindness was a reminder that Richard was not alone in his journey. His entire community was behind him. Performing with legends, a dream come true. One of the most significant moments in Richard's journey came when he was invited to perform alongside Rudy Cardona, a Venezuelan singer and former American Idol contestant. Richard's viral video had garnered so much attention that it eventually led to an opportunity to sing Don't Stop Believin' with Cardona at a local event in August 2022. The night was filled with electricity as Richard took the stage with Rudy, creating a magical moment that seemed like something straight out of a fairy tale. As the two singers performed, the crowd was in awe of Richard's vocal talent. For Richard, this moment represented the culmination of years of hard work, pain, and perseverance. He had gone from singing alone in his room to performing on stage with a famous artist. It was a surreal experience, but one that affirmed that dreams could indeed come true, no matter how unlikely they may seem. The voice of a generation. Richard Goodall's legacy. Richard Goodall's journey is far from over. While his success on AGT has opened doors to new opportunities, his story is much more than just a tale of fame and fortune. It is a story of resilience, of love and loss, of hope and perseverance. Richard's voice has the power to touch hearts, and his story serves as a reminder to never give up on your dreams, no matter how impossible they may seem. Richard Goodall's rise to fame, though unexpected, has inspired many to believe that anything is possible with passion, dedication, and the unwavering support of those who believe in you. As he moves forward in his career, Richard remains grounded in his roots, always remembering the people and the community that have supported him throughout his journey. For Richard Goodall, the best is yet to come.